So Wexford gets all of the attention in Pittsburgh's North Hills. But here's the truth. There's a suburb right next to it where you get the same lifestyle, great schools, and a shorter commute for tens of thousands of dollars less. And if you're moving to Pittsburgh and looking for a good family-friendly suburb that's affordable but still gives you access to luxury and top-tier amenities, then this might be the smartest decision you ever make. My name's Riley Madden, and we at Living in Pittsburgh help people move to Pittsburgh from all over the world every single day. And a huge question I get, especially for people looking for great schools and more updated amenities, especially people coming from areas like Florida, California, Washington, and Texas, they always ask me, should we live in Wexford? But after running the numbers, comparing taxes, and comparing the school districts, the suburb that typically wins is not the one that they would expect from online research. So if you're considering moving to Pittsburgh and you want affordable properties, a quick commute into downtown with no tunnels, and amazing housing inventory with top-tier school districts like North Hills High School, you're in the right place. So if you don't want to overspend or get into a neighborhood that might not appreciate as rapidly, and you're also keeping in mind an investment standpoint for your home purchase, then to get the same quality of life and a stronger financial position, you might want to consider Ross Township. In this video, I'll be showing you what makes this North Hills suburb the smartest choice for families looking in the North Hills of Pittsburgh, what homes really cost here, what does life feel like day to day, and how does it stack up against Wexford, Cranberry, and Mars. And by the end of this video, you'll have a very clear picture whether this community could be the right fit for you. So let's get started. And we have George here, Mr. Finance, to tell us a little bit about the numbers starting out in Ross Township.
So let's start with the number one question most people have when relocating to Pittsburgh. It's, can I actually afford to live in the North Hills? The North Hills is one of the best places to live in Pittsburgh, but a lot of people get fixated on Wexford alone and don't realize that very close we have areas like this that have similar schools, cheaper housing, and sometimes an even better commute to the city. Don't get me wrong, Wexford is a beautiful location, but when we're talking about value versus cost, there are some suburbs like this that I think take the cake.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm a sucker for Wexford, the new construction, being closer to amenities like Whole Foods, but you have to realize here in Ross Township, you're only about 10 to 15 minutes away from Wexford, and you still get really beautiful housing. As you can see, we're in this nice community with sidewalks, and there are dozens of communities just like this in Ross Township where you're getting that luxury feel, but you're not spending as much as you would in Wexford. Wexford is premium real estate, premium taxes, and North Allegheny School District. But comparing the districts, yes, North Allegheny is top rated, and that is perfect for people who are looking for something that is top rated and don't mind spending extra to be in that district, along with the housing inventory that comes along with it. Golf courses, Pine Richland, all these beautiful communities within the Wexford area. Definitely worth it. But Ross Township, if you're looking to be close to that, you want to keep in mind affordability, lower taxes, and still get a quality school. Many people don't realize that Ross Township has so many beautiful communities and really great options.
And let's also talk about the pricing. So in Wexford, you're going to be looking at about a $500,000 median price. And then if you want to get into new construction, it's not uncommon to see homes in the upwards $700s to even $800,000 range.
Exactly. And so many great builders in that area too, that of course Infinity Custom Homes is a very prevalent builder in the Wexford area, and you could get properties surpassing the $1 million mark. Lots of beautiful communities that aren't overcrowded, but that same new construction property in Ross Township might be closer to $500 to $600 compared to $700 to $900.
Yeah, so we're talking a few $100,000 difference for what I find to be very similar and comparable.
Yeah, and literally 10 minutes down the road. So this is definitely a hidden gem we love showing our clients who are coming here from out of state that aren't aware of all these areas. They're reading blog posts online, they haven't visited, or maybe they have, but they just don't know the hidden pockets and where the true value lies in Pittsburgh. And that's exactly what we're here for. That's exactly what we help people with. Every single day is nailing down what communities that you might not even know could be a good option for you. And one thing, coming from an investment investment standpoint, as our father has been investing in Pittsburgh real estate for over 35 years. We have investment properties ourselves, and just being in the real estate space our entire lives, we understand what's value. And what I will say is in Ross Township, we do see properties for starting in the 200,000s up to the higher 300s that could use some updating. A lot of times it's just cosmetic items where you could add tremendous equity into the property by just going in, doing these renovations. We also work closely with contractors and have a lot of contacts in the area, so we could help assist you with that process, making it as smooth and simple and affordable as possible to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. So seeing properties in the 200 to 300s here is pretty uncommon for the North Hills of Pittsburgh. So there's so much value in these properties and these great quiet communities that people just overlook because maybe they don't have the time to put the work in. But if you do, and you're looking at it from an investment standpoint along with just value for living, Ross Township definitely has hidden gems. We've helped plenty of people get into, renovate, and end up adding equity and selling for a lot more years later.
Yep. And when it comes to your bottom line, something always important to think about are taxes. So the taxes in this area are noticeably lower than areas like Wexford. And we're not just talking a couple $100 or even maybe just a few $1,000s in savings. When we look at the life over your mortgage, you're looking to save sometimes up to $10,000 and over $15,000 in savings by locating in an area like this versus Wexford.
Exactly. Yeah, you could save thousands over the life of the ownership, and that could make a difference between having extra money or being a little more stressed out whenever that monthly mortgage payment is due to pay. And I'll actually give you a good example of this. I actually just had a client that was a family, and they relocated here from Washington, D.C., and they were dead set on Wexford. They wanted the lifestyle, they wanted the prestige, they wanted that commute that the North Hills had to offer. When they were in town for a weekend, I said, hey, let's just drive by. This is 10 minutes away. And they were kind of reluctant, but they said, hey, we trust you. We'll take a look. And by that time, we ended up touring 4 properties in Ross Township. They made an offer and they said that the lifestyle is really what they were seeking, and they didn't realize they could get that for an $1,000 cheaper mortgage payment every single month compared to 10 minutes up the road. So they were so happy because it gave them a quicker commute into downtown Pittsburgh. It gave them the same lifestyle, the same access to amenities, and the wife is actually happier because she's closer to Ross Park Mall than she would have been if she lived in Wexford. So when you're looking at school districts and you're comparing North Hills versus North Allegheny, it's not much of a sacrifice, especially if affordability is your number one aspect. And some people actually like North Hills because it provides a smaller, more one-on-one campus, which we'll be talking about the numbers and more information on the schools and really how they compare here shortly. But affordability with the same lifestyle, a lot of times people see that as a win-win and end up choosing Ross Township when they never even considered it. You almost want to think of it like flying. Wexford, it's more first class. Everybody knows about it. It's popular online, on Instagram. But once you're in the air, you realize you're paying double or 3 times what you would pay for the same destination. This suburb, Ross Township, it's more like business class. You're still comfortable, you're still getting the experience, but you're not overpaying for the label. So imagine instead of maxing out your budget to live in Wexford, you're living in a neighborhood that has tree-lined streets, large yards, highly rated schools, and a quick drive into downtown Pittsburgh. And every month, instead of stressing about your mortgage payment, you've got extra money for home upgrades, family vacations, or just the peace of mind. That's a difference between chasing a name or making a smarter play depending on your priorities. Because I will say Wexford is amazing. It has a lot of advantages, a lot of great school programs. Not only do you have North Allegheny, but you also have Pine Richland and some of the most premium lots and real estate in all of Pittsburgh. So if you don't mind stretching your budget and paying extra in taxes, it definitely can be worth it. And I will say I'm a sucker for Wexford. I love it. But like I said before, if you're looking for more of an alternative, affordable solution, then Ross Township is something you should definitely keep on your radar. But to be real, saving money, that's only half of the story. Because let's be real, nobody's moving to a suburb just to stare at their mortgage payment. What really matters is your lifestyle. lifestyle. What's it really like here day to day? Do you have the parks, the shops, the restaurants, and the community vibe that makes a place feel like home? And that's exactly what we're about to show you. The lifestyle that makes this one of the smartest suburbs in the North Hills. And how does it truly stack up against Wexford, Cranberry, and Mars? Let's find out. And here's also something that's not talked about as often and what other real estate agents just won't tell you. Families sometimes get lured in by a low price tag, only to realize that it's not what they expected and they actually feel isolated. They're driving 25 minutes just to grab groceries. Their kids have nobody to play with next door, and after a year, they might be calling me again, saying we don't love our life here. And that's why lifestyle has to be a priority. And luckily for you, this North Hill suburb solves all of those problems. It's one of the most well-balanced communities I've ever seen when it comes to amenities. And to get it out of the way, you have Ross Park Mall, which is one of the most prestigious malls in all of Pittsburgh, where you have Nordstrom, luxury shops like Gucci, and you have Alo, Lululemon, everything a girl and a family could want, only 5 minutes away, sometimes in your backyard if you're in the right Ross Park community. People travel from all over Pittsburgh just to go to Ross Park Mall, so this amenity is actually a pretty big deal. And not only that, but you have a Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Target, Giant Eagle, all within 10 to 15 minutes from Ross Township. And just because you're not in Wexford doesn't mean you don't get access to Wexford amenities like McCandless Crossing with restaurants, movie theaters, high-end shops, and high-end spas, health facilities, and cosmetics. Whether you're looking for high-end Mexican, great sushi, fast food, pizza, or a really nice sit-down diner, Wexford and Ross Township have so many restaurants right along McKnight Road where you're literally 5 minutes from all of your daily conveniences, and that's what people can't believe when they take a look at McKnight Road. Not only do you have an array of everything we spoke of before, but you also have the shops that you'll be visiting every day, and you have some things like Marshall's, some more value stores that are nice to have in your backyard, and you're not just stuck with one strip mall, but you have an extreme amount of variety. So that's why people really love Ross Park, not only the mall and the shops and the health facilities, but also the convenience that McKnight Road provides. Not only could you get to downtown Pittsburgh in 10 to 15 minutes, but you could also get to everything you'll want to go to in pretty much less time than any other suburb, especially if you're going further out, like areas like Murraysville and Trafford, along with even some South Hill suburbs like Peters Township, where you just don't get access to the amenities that the North Hills has to offer. And not to mention North Park. This is the county's largest park, and we can't stress enough how big of a deal it is here in Pittsburgh. People travel from all over Pittsburgh and its suburbs just to get access to the North Park, which is literally less than 10 minutes from Ross Township. You have over 3,000 acres of trails, a massive lake, golf, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and even an ice rink. For families, this is going to be your go-to weekend spot, especially if you live in Ross and it's in your backyard. And there is restaurants and coffee shops and ice cream in the park alone, so that just shows how community oriented and how accessible they make this park to be. And being 15 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh, along with 25 minutes to the airport, you could compare that to Cranberry, where a bad traffic day could double your commute into work. The difference adds up, especially if you're commuting to the city and working there often. I had a family move here from Virginia actually last weekend, and they were pretty set on Cranberry or the Mars area because of the lower taxes Butler County provides, plus all of the new construction. They wanted the big house, the newer build, and all of the shopping. But once they visited the area, they actually stayed in a hotel up in Cranberry to get a better feel, which we always recommend hotels, Airbnbs, or short-term rentals to better understand what it's actually like to live in these areas if you can and if it fits within your timeline. And they did that, and they lived through a Saturday jam on Route 19. And then they realized they didn't want that lifestyle. Cranberry was too busy for them, too many major highways, and too much commotion for what they thought would be a laid-back suburb. We toured this area instead. I told you guys I will bring you to the areas that I think will be a good fit, even if it's not in your mindset or within your plan. You saw the same quality homes, the same quality stores, and the same quality schools. But their daily life was way easier because they would actually be commuting into work 3 days out of the week, and that's in downtown Pittsburgh. So no sitting in traffic to grab dinners, no 40-minute commutes to downtown, and that actually gave them more time to spend with their family cooking dinners and just not stressing about sitting in traffic. And after closing, the dad told me that he didn't realize that convenience mattered more than square footage until they actually spent time in these neighborhoods, touring the homes and understanding the lifestyle behind them. And that's exactly the point. The lifestyle is what's going to make the home feel right for you. Think of it almost like a gym membership. You can join the fanciest club in the city, but it's 40 minutes away. If it's 40 minutes away, you're never going to go. Or you could have a solid, well-equipped gym close to home that's only 10 minutes away and actually use it and get to enjoy it every single day. This suburb is pretty much the same. It's not about the flash, it's about what you'll actually use every single day that's going to make your everyday life smoother. And that's exactly what we help people with every single day, is determining not only what areas are going to be the best for you, but if you tell us a few things about what you're looking for, we could pinpoint the exact street down to the exact home that could be the right fit for you and your family. Not only has our family been investing here in all of these neighborhoods for over 30 years, but we've been relocating people here to Pittsburgh for over 6 years now, and we absolutely love it. We've got to meet so many great people from all over the world and nail them down to that dream neighborhood and lifestyle that they didn't even know existed and they didn't even know was possible based on just blog posts online. Not only are we looking out for value, getting your offer accepted versus many other people, connecting you with the right lenders, the right inspectors, the right contacts to make your move as smooth as possible, but we're with you every single step of the way from our first initial consultation, where we go over absolutely everything you need to know about Pittsburgh, the housing market, and fit you to neighborhoods that'll match you based on your specific needs and desires, not just some random blog post online that is lacking context. We take the time to understand what you need lifestyle-wise, whether that's schools, whether that's more of a young professional with a village-style property that has walkability versus a nice suburb that could provide you everything you're looking for in not only a home, but in a lifestyle, because you're moving your life here, so we want to make sure it could be the right fit. So whether you're considering moving to Pittsburgh and you're not too sure about it, or you're planning a move here for sure, this is what we love to help you guys with every single day, is nailing down the best neighborhoods and the best homes for you. So make sure to reach out. Our contact information is down in the description below, always up here on the screen. We absolutely love hearing from you and helping you find the right neighborhood and home in Pittsburgh. It's what we do 24/7, and we absolutely love it.
And guys, it's not just clients talking about how great this area is. The numbers actually back it up. When we look at the national average on Zillow, houses here go faster than the national average by far. And compared to the rest of the North Hills, they move even quicker. So buyers aren't just saying that they like this area, they're proving it by making purchases with their actual wallet. So just imagine this. You wake up on a Sunday morning and you decide to go kayaking. You walk out of your beautiful home and you have a Penn State family just like me. I'm a Penn State grad, so I just had to throw that in there because I saw it. We are, for anybody watching. And if you hate Penn State, don't hold it against them. Anyways, waking up on a beautiful Sunday morning and you want to do something rural. You have the kayaking, you have the hiking, and a really suburban feel. And then from there, you're a quick ride to the stadium to go see the Steelers in the evening. This area has it all.
Yeah, it really does. And you could tell just from that little sign, they're very kid friendly. People go slow on the roads here. And everyone's so kind, especially with just all of these beautiful overgrown trees giving you like a sanctuary, not only in your front porch, but in your back. Good driveway space and just so many different neighborhoods to choose from, whether you're looking for something from the 250 to 350 range versus the 450 to 750 range. You could really get all of your options that you're looking for here in Ross Township, whether you're looking for something move-in ready versus to add value. It's literally all here with so many tremendous opportunities.
And also remember the X factor. Having coffee shops, being able to hike and go to the city are all great things that we enjoy. But for families, the X factor is the schools here, which is going to make this a solid investment. And we all know that houses usually appreciate more with areas with good school districts. So another plus for this area, and really hits most of the major checklists for people relocating.
That's a great point that George just made. And something else is, even if you're not a family, if you're maybe a young professional or somebody that's looking to live close to the city but doesn't necessarily want the city prices or just the city chaos sometimes, we've seen a lot of young professionals come up to Ross Township, being that it's almost like a first ring suburb. You're 10 to 15 minutes away from downtown, and you get some townhome options, some nice starter homes. Not only are you getting access to the amenities you'll need every day, but that downtown plus lower taxes is pretty much unbeatable and unheard of.
And in this next section, we're going to see how this area stacks against Wexford, Cranberry, and McCandless to see how it stacks up when it comes to lifestyle and the school.
And it might surprise you, because I will say a majority of our clients do end up moving to Wexford and Cranberry, and we think there's lots of great opportunity, lots of great real estate and great amenities in those areas. But Ross Township, this next section is really going to surprise you on what this area offers compares to those, especially being that not many people know about this area or bring it up to us first. So here's something that I tell everybody who's moving to Pittsburgh, and that's that schools matter. Why? Because schools drive resale value. People aren't going to choose one area over another because of granite countertops, but they're going to choose an area over another because of the school district. And here's the truth. People think Wexford equals North Allegheny School District, which equals the best. There is no better than that. But the North Hills has more than one high-performing district, and that's what you're going to find in Ross Township, which is actually North Hills High School. And in this suburb, you're getting highly rated school districts without paying the Wexford prices and the Wexford taxes for North Allegheny. North Hills consistently rated above state averages for math, graduation, and reading. Niche.com puts it at an A- overall, which is top tier for the region of Pittsburgh. The school to teacher ratios are typically smaller than you see at the big school in North Allegheny, which could be a very great advantage if your kid wants more one-on-one time or more of that community small town feel. The parents that I work with who compare both options told me that North Hills seems so much more personable, and that's why they love it. And homes in this district tend to move very fastly, especially ones priced under $400,000. That tells us that the demand is strong and sustainable in Ross Township. Think of it like buying brand name versus generic medicine. The active ingredients are the same, the results are the same, but with one, you're paying double for just the label. That's what happens when families only consider Wexford. They pay double for just the name when suburbs like this deliver the same quality of education and lifestyle that they're after. And it's not just one-off stories. Over the past 5 years alone, we've had dozens and dozens of families make the same decision. Some came here for affordability, some came here because they wanted more personable schools, and some came here because they wanted a quicker commute to downtown Pittsburgh. Every single time, it's been the same result. It's been them saying, we had no idea that this suburb existed, but we're so happy that we didn't pay more for just the name brand because they absolutely love what Ross Township has to offer. So picture this, you're not just living in a community with top-rated schools, but you're also knowing that every dollar you save is going right back into your family's future. Whether that's travel, retirement savings, or just lowering financial stress, you know that you're not overpaying for a name brand district. Instead, you have a home that's smart today and smart for your future resale value. And schools, it's a huge factor, that is no doubt, but let's step back because schools don't define the entire suburb. What about the vibe, the culture, the neighbors? And that's what we're breaking down in this next section. What's the community feel actually like? What's life like day to day, and how does that compare to the other areas in the North Hills? Let's talk about it. So in Pittsburgh's North Hills, each suburb has a very different vibe to it. Wexford feels polished and established. Cranberry feels big and more busy. And McCandless feels green and family focused. But this suburb, it blends the best parts of all three, without the downsides that make people second guess their move. Let's break it down.
So Wexford has gorgeous homes, brand recognition, and North Allegheny School District, but it comes with a steeper price and steeper taxes. Then we have Cranberry. Tons of new construction, great restaurants, but traffic can be brutal at times. Ask anybody that's ever sat in traffic on Route 19 and they'll tell you.
Yeah, and we actually have a vlog tour of Cranberry. We'll link in the description for you guys. And you could tell George, he liked the suburb, he liked the homes, but it was just a bit too busy to be one of his favorites.
That's just me personally.
So then you have McCandless, you have tighter lots, you have great schools, North Park's in your backyard, but it does feel a bit more quieter than Cranberry and even Ross Township. So you're getting a little bit more of that suburban feel. And then here we are at Ross Township, at the beautiful Ross Park Mall. This suburb has strong schools, more affordable properties, a 15-minute commute into downtown, and a community that feels like Pittsburgh's best kept secret. One family we worked with last year toured all three areas: Wexford, Cranberry, and Ross Township. They loved things about each, but they kept telling us the same exact thing. We don't want to feel like we're overpaying, we don't want to be in too busy of a spot, but we also don't want to feel isolated. When I brought them to this suburb, their reaction was instant. They said, "This feels like home, and this is exactly what we were looking for." The tree-lined streets, the neighborhood parks, the access to amenities, and the mix of established homes plus modern updates. It checked every box without the sticker shock of Wexford and Cranberry. Think of it like choosing between three restaurants. Wexford, it's the fine dining spot. It's beautiful, but it is expensive. And sometimes you leave wondering, was it even worth it? Cranberry, that's the buffet. Lots of options, but sometimes it gets a little too overcrowded and overwhelming. McCandless, that's like your local cafe. Comfortable, familiar, but the seating is limited. And this suburb, it's like the hidden gem restaurant that only locals know about. Affordable, great quality, not a long wait. And once you try it, you wonder why you didn't come sooner. And we're not the only ones saying this. Homes here don't last, even in a slower market. Well-priced listings under $400,000 often sell within a week. That tells you two things: buyers recognize the value, and families are putting roots here long-term. That demand isn't hype, it's proof that this suburb is doing something right. But here's the catch: even in a suburb so strong, there are still mistakes that people make. From overpaying on the wrong street, to underestimating the property taxes, to missing out on the best inventory because they waited too long. So next, I'm going to walk you through the biggest pitfalls to avoid if you're considering this suburb, and the strategies we use to make our clients make sure that they do not regret this move. And the mistakes I'm speaking of are not rookie mistakes. They're mistakes I see smart, hardworking families run into when they're trying to do the move on their own. One is overpaying on the wrong street. It's because location inside a suburb matters. I've seen people almost overpay and jump on the first listing that they've seen, and later to take into account that it's backed up from a busy road and taxes in that pocket are actually higher than the average. And this is where local expertise matters. We know micro markets street by street and can make sure that you're getting into the right section within that neighborhood itself. It's a huge deal and a huge mistake that we catch people from making. And number two is underestimating the property taxes. So yes, Pennsylvania doesn't tax you on your Social Security, but your property taxes literally vary municipality by municipality, borough by borough, and it could get really overwhelming and confusing if you don't have the local guidance and the right numbers. Before we even make offers, we're giving you the real tax information, estimated closing costs, so that you could see exactly what this will turn out to be, not only tax-wise, but also for what you're actually going to have to bring to closing, because transfer taxes vary in borough by borough, and that can mean thousands of dollars more 5 minutes down the road. is missing out on inventory. So even though this neighborhood actually flies under the radar compared to Cranberry and Wexford, still a good home is a good home, and a good home does not sit. They could go pending within a few days, and it's so easy to let them slip by if you're not proactively looking at listings every single day. And that's why we set our buyers up with custom portals directly linked through the MLS, so they're the first ones to know as soon as a property hits the market, and they also get shared access with us to see every single home available within their criteria and areas they're looking. And this has been critical to be able to spot properties as soon as they hit the market, be able to be one of the first ones in there and the first ones to make an offer. 4 is trying to do the move on yourself by looking on Zillow, Facebook groups, and just on YouTube videos, but lacking the true context that fits you and your situation. And this context is what's truly going to get you into the right area smoothly without any hiccups. There's only so much research you could do online, and research does not mean bypassing professionals. It means coming in educated in order to work with a professional to get you to the goal. We've helped people move here from New York, Florida, New Jersey, California, you name it, all over the country, all here to Pittsburgh, and we know the exact doubts, fears, questions that you're wrestling with because we've worked with hundreds of people and walked them through the exact same process. You want someone that not only is experienced in the area, but is experienced with relocation, because they're going to have contacts you need, experience you need, and context you need in order to make this huge move across the country, state to state, or even county from county a lot easier, simpler, and smoother. And I'll give you an exact example of this. A family that we're actually under contract with now has reached out to us after months of wasting money traveling from Washington here to Pittsburgh, back and forth, touring properties, touring the wrong suburbs, and trying to do a lot of this their own by going to open houses, and ended up even more confused and wasted money. First thing they told me when they called me is, we wish we would have called you sooner. And now they're under contract currently on a place that's walking distance from their kids' school in a tax-friendly area and under budget for them. And they are so excited. Closing is coming up next week. And they just said, we couldn't have done this without you. We literally tried and we ended up stressed, losing money, and all over the place. So they are actually so excited about not only the deal they're getting, the neighborhood and the house itself is completely move-in ready. It's everything they could have dreamed of, and they regret not contacting us. So don't let that be your story. Something this big needs professional attention. Well, here's the bottom line. If you're moving to Pittsburgh, you don't just want the right fit, you want the right street, the right house, the right lifestyle, the right commute, the right taxes. And in order to do that, it's way easier to contact a professional who works in every single neighborhood in this market, relocates people here, and has extensive knowledge on not only the areas, the process of getting you the home of your dreams for a good price, and can help with everything from A to Z within your move out of state here to Pittsburgh. So that's what we do 24/7, and we absolutely love it. That's why we make these videos for you guys, so that you could explore the neighborhoods of Pittsburgh, get a better understanding, and truly feel at home here in Pittsburgh when you get here. Our contact information is down in the description below, always up here on the screen. Feel free to reach out. This is what we do 24/7. We absolutely love helping you, and we'll come up with a custom relocation plan based on you, your plans, and your goals, whether you're looking at resale, new construction, city living, or suburbs. We could help literally with it all, and have helped hundreds of people make successful moves here to Pittsburgh. So reach out, and if you're still considering and you want to learn more about Pittsburgh or different neighborhoods or real estate market, you could start by watching our next videos here, and we will see you there.